There are 8 major characteristics of a corporation. There's separate legal existence, there's limited liability of stockholders, transferable ownership rights, ability to acquire capital, continuous life, corporation management, government regulations, and additional taxes. So, for separate legal existence, a company name is separated from its owners and the stockholders, which means that the company as an entity by itself can buy, own, sell property, borrow money, enter into legally binding contracts in its own name, sue or be sued, and pay its own taxes. Corporations also must have limited liability of stockholders. This means that the liability of stockholders is normally limited to their investment in the corporation. Creditors have no legal claim on the personal assets of the owners. Corporations must have transferable ownership rights. So the shares of the capital stock give ownership in a corporation. Stockholders may dispose of part or all of the interest in a corporation simply by selling their stock. This requires the consent of each owner. It does not require the approval of either the corporation or the stockholders. Corporations must have the ability to acquire capital. It's easy for a corporation to obtain capital through the issue of stock. Buying stock in a corporation is often attractive in an investor. A corporation must have continuous life. A life of a corporation is stated in its charter, and the life may be never-ending or may be limited to a specific number of years. If it is limited, the company can extend the life through renewal of its charter. Continuance as a going concern is affected by withdrawal, death, or incapacity of the stockholders, employees, or officer. A corporation must have management. The stockholders legally own the corporation. So if you have, the more stocks you have, the more ownership and management you have over the corporation. The board of directors formulates the operating policies of the company. The board also selects officers to execute policy and perform daily management functions. The corporation must also abide by government regulations, subject to numerous state and federal regulations. State laws usually prescribe the requirements for issuing stock, the distributions of earnings permitted to stockholders, and acceptable methods for buying back the retiring stock. Federal laws govern the sale of capital stock to general public. The public corporations are required to make extensive disclosure of the financial affairs to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Government regulations are designed to protect the owners of the corporation. Corporations also have additional taxes. Corporations must pay federal and state income taxes as a separate legal entity. They can amount to as much as 40% taxable income. Stockholders must pay these taxes on cash dividends. Many argue that the government tax corporation income taxes double, taxes twice, once at the corporation level and again at the individual level. And those are the 8 characteristics of a corporation.